We believe that life is better connected, and our aim is to help our young people find genuine friends and a supportive community. We also think that the best way to navigate this COVID season is by engaging together in smaller groups. We would love to help get them connected in this way by joining one of our Hangout groups. For any questions or further information, just email youth@forgechurch.com or check out the Forge website. Welcome to Motion Live. Welcome. We're so pleased you've joined us. If you are new and this is your first time, a special welcome to you. Thank you for joining us. My name is Tim, and I'm going to be with you for the next 30 minutes, whatever it is, just kind of walking you through some exciting things that we have got planned for us. If you're in the chat, just let us know that you're watching. Tell us who you're watching with. Also, you're going to need, in the chat later on, we're going to do a bit of a quiz. So we're going to need to write your answers down in the chat, so make sure you're logged in. If you're logged into a parent's account, that's totally fine as well. We'll know who you are, unless you've got some random name. But anyway, we would love you to be involved in that quiz. Now, we're going to do something slightly different today. And I hear you say, change? We don't like change. I know you guys don't like change, but we're going to do something different. Now, I don't know about you, but this week has been tough, homeschooling, lockdown, not being able to see people. Everybody's fed up of Zoom calls. It just feels like we've gone back. Everybody feels like, it's just gone back. And we need a little bit of a wake-up call. But if you don't, I definitely do. I feel like I need a bit of a wake-up call for tonight. This room is cold, so I definitely need a bit of a wake-up call. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to play some music right at the start. Now, we've got an amazing song that Kez has sung for us, and it's a song called Alive. Now, this song, it has to be played with volume up. It has to be played with you jumping and dancing and singing around your room as much as you can. Now, Alive basically kind of is talking about Jesus being inside of us, alive inside of us, and because of that fact, we can be free. So I want you all to get up. Ben is in the other room. He's going to come in here and he's going to join me, and we're going to dance and jump around in this room because it's a great song to get up and dance to. So let's listen to this song called Alive by Kez.
Saved in the Savior's hands, you are
Amazing. Oh, I feel so much better after that. Had a little bit of a jig around here, so that was good. I hope you guys enjoyed that at home too. Excellent. Okay, we're going to play a little bit of a game now. I want you to put some answers in the chat. Basically, what I've done, I've been going through some of the leaders' social media over the last sort of maybe 6 months to a year or 2 years, and I've got some of their pictures. Now, we're going to show you some of those pictures, and I want you to guess who you think posted these images. Okay. So write in your answers, just put 1 and then the name of the person, 2, then the name of the person, but we'll go through them. So the first one is this picture. So who was involved in interviewing this dog for a job? Who was involved in interviewing this dog for a job? It's not necessarily the person that you can see in the picture, it's the person that's behind the camera. So who do you think it is? Write it in the chat. Who do you think it is? Number 1 and then the name of that person. Which leader do you think it is that was interviewing or involved in interviewing a dog? Excellent. Okay, the second one. Who enjoys nothing more than a bit of yoga in the sunset? This looks incredible. Like, I want to go to this place. It looks so, so nice. But who do you think it was? So write number 2 and then the name of the leader that you think it is. We'll be going through the answers at the end. So number 1, answer. Number 2, answer. Okay, the third one. Who have we got here? Whose family has an excessive amount of toothbrushes? That, in my opinion, is disgusting because look at all those heads that are together and there's just too many in there. I mean, nobody has got a family that big, surely. But who do you think that is? So put in there 3 and then the name of the leader that you think it is. Is it one of your guys? Is it one of your leaders? Okay, the next one, number 4. Who is this posing on the front cover of a boy band album or a singing album? It's not really, it's just a pose. But anyway, who do you think it is? This is a tricky one, this one. I don't know if anybody's going to get this one. Maybe apart from the person who it is. So, right, number 4, and then the name of the leader after it. Excellent. Okay, number 5. Who has experienced the wonder of Disneyland, Florida? So, right, number 5, and then the name of the person that you think has experienced the wonder of Disneyland, Florida. Okay, and then finally, this is the last one. Who is this dressed up as Philip Schofield? Who is this dressed up as Philip Schofield? Now, you can see it was Revolution last year. So if you were there, maybe you remember who it was. It's not Holly Willoughby on the left-hand side. It's the one that's dressed as Philip Schofield on the right-hand side. So who was that? So put number 6 and then the name of the leader who you think that is. Okay, cool. I'm going to go through the answers, but before I do it, let's do some sort of shout-outs in the chat. So who have we got that's here? Betty, hello, Betty. We'd love to see that you're here. Amy, hello, Amy. Summer, hello, Summer. A life worth living. Who is that? I can't remember if that's... I don't know who that is. I can't remember. I think it might be Xanthi, maybe. Sam's here. Hello, Sam. Eliza's here. Hello, Eliza. Sparkles is here. Leah's here. Amazing. Oh, Johnny Abbott said hello, but Johnny's in the back room, so I've seen him already. Teddy. Hello, Teddy. Welcome. Right, we're going to go through the answers. Actually, before we do that, Sam has just noticed that that I've kind of sorted the studio out to make sure that I don't get surprised like I did last week, but more of that in a little while. So, yeah, well noticed, Sam. Okay, number 1. Let's go for the answers. Number 1, this was Sam Fenning. So a few people got that one right. Leah's got it right. Amy's got it right. Betty's got it right. Sam, you got it wrong, but I'm guessing you did that as a bit of a trick to kind of like, yeah, because you knew it was you, obviously. Yeah, a lot of people got that one right, so well done. Number 2, let's have a look. Who was this? This was Zoe. Sam got it wrong again. He put Meg. Summer got it right. Betty got it wrong. Amy got it wrong. Leah, well done, you got it right. Okay, number 3. Who was this? It's the Sparks family. The Sparks family, they need to explain this. Tim, in the chat, please explain why you've got this excessive amount of toothbrushes. It's disgusting. But a lot of people have got it right. So, yeah, Tim S, the Sparks family. Levi's got that one right. Well done, Levi. Izzy's got that one right. Excellent. Okay, number 4. Let's go for this one. Who was this? This is a tough one. And I don't think anyone's got this one right. They haven't. So people have put Nathan. It's not Nathan. People have put Sam. It's not Sam. It is actually Will Jack. Now, some of you don't know Will. Will's a new leader amongst us. He's in Sam and Nathan's hangout group. So, yeah, well done for those that got that one, but you didn't write it down. So, okay, the 5th one. The person who experienced the magic of Disneyland wasn't Meg, as a lot of people have put in there. It was actually Eliza. Eliza has experienced the wonders. I don't think anyone got that right. So Amy has now put Will. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, number 6, last one. Yeah, lots of you remember this. It was Meg. So well done, Meg. Yeah, nice. Yeah. So Isabel got that. Izzy Walsh got that right. Amy got that one right. Betty got it right. Yeah, lots of good. Lots of answers. Excellent. Well done. Excellent. Good. Well done. So, as I said earlier on, last week we kicked off our new feature, which you guys pretty much failed miserably and so I asked Izzy to kind of shock her parents and scare her parents. I asked Summer to do it, but you just failed. You just failed miserably, but your family got you back, so we saw it last week. But the reason I keep looking back here is because if you don't know, Ben decided to jump out on me last week and scare the living daylights out of me. Honestly, my heart was still beating at like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. It was horrible. So if you didn't see last week, let's take a look to see what Ben got up to with me last week. We picked the wrong... Ah! No! I can't believe you just done that. Oh my goodness. Oh, how can I carry on? So that is what Ben did to me last week. I was not happy, but I still love you, Ben. But my heart, honestly, I don't know how... I still feel nervous. I still feel like, even though there's nothing there to protect him, I still feel like he might come out. But anyway, I'm hoping he doesn't. I'm just keeping an eye on. Okay, cool. So this week, some of you guys had a go. Got some of the leaders to have a go. So let's take a look to see how the rest of them got on. Let's go.
Unlucky!
I'm genuinely loving this series. Honestly, well done to those who had a go. Teddy, I think, was the best one. Definitely the best reaction there from Betty. So well done to you guys. Now, if you want to see this series more and more, you're going to need to send me videos because I'm loving it and I want to carry on with it. But you guys are going to need to send me loads of videos. So if you think you can do better than the leaders, I mean, the leaders were pretty shocking, to be fair. I mean, Zoe tried to do it, but her mum... she refused to send it to me, basically. And I mean, I was willing to take the risk of Zoe getting sort of hurt by her mum, but I mean, she wasn't, so I don't know why. But other people, come on, look, you can do it. You can do better than the leaders and those other people that have had a go. So send them to me on the Forge Instagram page. Send me a direct message. I'm still looking over my shoulder because I've still got a feeling he might come, but I don't think he's going to now, so I think we're okay. Okay, cool. We're going to head into our second talk from our new series. The new series that we've called Vibes. It's all about those emotions or those vibes and those feelings that we have that are inside of us. And actually, it's kind of about knowing that we shouldn't let those vibes or those emotions get the best of us. And that actually we should try and control those vibes or emotions that we have. And last week, that's exactly what we were talking about, that actually we shouldn't let those vibes be the boss of us. This week is a really tough one. It's all about anger. And so let's check out what we have to say about anger this week. Have you ever heard of road rage? Maybe you've experienced it personally. You've probably been in a car with someone who has raged while driving. Or maybe you've been in a car with someone and another car has raged towards you. If you've never experienced road rage, maybe you've encountered hallway rage. Yeah, okay, I've just made that term up. But remember those days when we were actually in school and saw other people? Well, hallway rage would be what happened when someone bumped into you between classes and made you drop your phone. In turn, you went off, or at least in your own mind you did. Hallway rage is real. On the road or in the hallway, we all know that kind of rage. Even if you don't yell at someone or act on it, you probably know the feeling, that kind of rage of inside of you. Most of us don't actually call it rage or even anger, but you get the idea. Maybe you'd say that you're frustrated. When your sister shrinks your favourite shirt in the wash, you aren't mad that you're frustrated. When your stepdad reminds me that you could get grounded for the weekend, you aren't angry, you're frustrated. When that one kid acts like they're superior to basically everyone, you get frustrated. Enough to hope that they faceplant in front of everyone. And why? Because we don't like to think of ourselves as angry. But let's be honest, is there a difference between being mad and being frustrated? Is there a difference between road rage or road frustration? The past couple of weeks, we've been in a series about our emotions, or the vibes inside of us, where we've been talking about keeping those vibes under control. And one of those emotions that shows up for everyone and tries to take over is anger. The thing about anger is it doesn't always look the same. Sometimes it means yelling at someone or losing your temper. That's how we normally think of it. But sometimes it means giving someone the silent treatment. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes when someone is mad at you and they're not saying a word, it's way worse. In fact, maybe you're really good at giving people the silent treatment. Not only is it a way for you to process your anger, but it's also a way for you to control the situation. You hold the power because you withhold the words. Even more complicated, not all anger is bad. There's the anger we feel when we see injustices, when we see things like certain groups of people who are treated unfairly, causes that we care about not being taken seriously, racism, people who don't have clean water, people who don't take care of the planet. When we see these things happening in the world that aren't right, it's a good thing to get angry. Jesus got super angry when people were mistreated, like flipping furniture kind of angry. So it isn't always a bad thing. In fact, sometimes anger is constructive. It moves us towards positive action. But then other times it's destructive. It moves us towards regret and hurt of people. And what are we supposed to do with that? Either way, anger is a powerful emotion. The question is, what do we do with it, and how do we keep destructive anger from taking over and bossing us around? We're going to look at a passage from the book of James in the New Testament. James was the brother of Jesus, but when Jesus was alive and walked the earth, James didn't really follow him. It was only after Jesus was crucified and came back to life that James was convinced. Eventually, James became a leader in the early church. He lived in Jerusalem and he wrote his letter primarily to Jewish Christians. It's a letter full of wisdom. And in the section we're going to look at today, James offers a principle that may sound a little simple at first, but hang in there, because if you and I can learn to do this, it will change everything. James starts by saying this: "Who is wise and understanding among you?" We hear the word wise a lot, but we not only really focus on what it means. Wise is different from smart. You can be born smart, but wisdom is earned. If you are wise, you take what you've experienced and learn from it. You understand that life is connected and that actions have consequences. And James is asking, how many of you actually get that? If you do get it, here's what I have to say next. And he continues: "Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom." So James is making connection here. He's saying that wise people are humble. And what does humility look like? It starts with a proper view of yourself. You don't see yourself as an exception to the rule. You don't think that the world revolves around you and your desires. You don't think that you deserve better treatment than everyone else. You don't see everyone else as a means to an end that you want. James is saying that wise people don't do these things. He continues: "But if you harbour bitter envy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast about it or deny the truth." Harbour basically means to let something stick around. If you let stuff stay with you that makes you think you're better or more important, don't deny it. Call it out. Don't pretend to be fine. And then James says this: "For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice." Let's say it in a different way. When pride or arrogance gets lodged inside of us, it comes out in our actions. Not exactly great news, but he doesn't leave us hanging. A couple of verses later, he asks, "What causes fights and quarrels among you?" I bet I could stop right there and everyone would have an answer to that question. Parents with unrealistic rules, younger siblings that won't stop being annoying, friends that don't text back, a stepdad that acts like he's always right, people with obnoxious TikTok accounts. We all have an answer outside of us that causes problems among us. But James isn't buying it. He answers his own questions by saying, don't they come from your desires, that battle within you? In other words, yeah, your mum and dad may drive you crazy and your little brother may be annoying, but what causes the arguments? It's not them, it's you. Or maybe more specifically, what's in you. And this is a big deal because as long as we think the problem is someone else, their behaviour, their character, their mistake, we'll never deal with the anger problem inside of us. We think the problem is people not doing things our way. But James is saying the problem is that we want to get our way. But as long as we think the problem is outside of us, we'll never take care of what's inside of us. So what do? Well, we have to change the script. When other people aren't acting like we think they should, or we aren't getting what we want or think we deserve, we have to change what we say. Instead of saying, he's being selfish, she's being annoying, they're being rude. Instead, we say, you know what the problem is? I'm not getting what I want. I understand that this sounds terrible, but I'm telling you, when you start doing this, relationships change. Your frustration level changes. Your anger changes. On the other hand, when you start admitting that the problem is that you're not getting what you want, you get control back. And isn't that what we all want when it comes to our emotions? We want control. I have a few questions for you. What's your relationship with anger? Do you control it, or does it control you? The good news is that for those of us who are Jesus followers, we follow someone who has led the way in this. Paul wrote about this very thing when he talked about Jesus, who being in the very nature God, did not consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage. Rather, he made himself nothing by taking the very nature of a servant, being made in human likeness. Jesus had every reason and every right to get his own way, but he didn't. He gave up what he wanted so that we could know how valuable we are in God's sight. Paul starts this passage about Jesus and his humility by saying this:
Therefore, if you have any encouragement from being united with Christ, if any comfort from his love, if any sharing in the Spirit, if any tenderness and compassion, then make my joy complete by being like-minded, having the same love. Did you catch that? He tells us to be like Christ, and then he tells us what Christ is like, humble when he had every reason not to be. Jesus surrendered his way when he could have easily fought for it. Following the example of Jesus is how we keep anger from controlling us. Think of it this way. Because of Jesus, anger doesn't have to be the boss of you. I really believe following Jesus will make your life better. I really do. Because when you follow him, he will nudge you away from the self-centeredness, arrogance, and pride and move you towards humility and love for others. And as that happens, you will find that anger no longer has the hold on you. And less powerful anger is a win for everyone. I want you to begin imagining what life would look like if anger didn't control you. None of us will get this right completely or all the time, but as you discuss this within your Hangout group, process some ways that you can take some steps in the right direction. In your personal circumstances, what would it look like for you to choose wisdom and humility over anger?
Cool, excellent. Anger is kind of a really difficult one to kind of talk about, and I'm so glad you guys have got your Hangout groups to kind of be honest, be open, be vulnerable with the other guys in the group and with the leaders, because it's such a great opportunity to do that. You know, for some of you guys, anger is a thing that's there, and it's something that is bubbling away in the surface, and that's something that you need to get control of, and I really hope that you can do that. You know, because actually we just don't want anger to control us. You know, our emotions to get on top of us, and anger is one of those hardest things to do. And I really hope that if you do struggle with that you do speak openly and honestly within your Hangout groups. And I've mentioned Hangout groups, and for you guys that are watching for the first time, you know, welcome. But also, I just want to let you know about these Hangout groups. This is just an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper, to kind of speak to some like-minded Christians, or maybe some people that are kind of not quite there yet, and they're still not sure if they believe. And actually, it's a really good opportunity to kind of speak to some leaders that are kind of there for you, that are supporting you, encouraging you along the way. If you want to find out more information about these Hangout groups, head over to our Instagram page. There's a link in there which will take you to the Forge website, which will tell you some information about the different groups and ways that you can sign up. If you've got any questions further, please just get in touch. Email me directly at youth@forgechurch.com, and I'd love to chat that through with you a little bit more. It's just a great way for us to kind of build community amongst each other, which at this time is so important. Okay, I hope you have a great week, and I will see you all next week back here at 7 o'clock. I hope you have a great week. Stay safe, everyone.